Thank you, Lorraine. Is this glass half full or half empty? Well, right now, you and I both know it's very empty. Because it's hard to put any kind of positive spin on this catastrophic position we find ourselves in right now. Last year, I flew 240,000 kilometers, and this year, well, you know the story. We're all living the same story. Our landscape has been flattened equally, and we are all basically now startups. How can we ever recover? Well, I've always been pretty good in a crisis. I'm always the one that you would want in a panic situation. I can triage. At the start, I can figure out, where we stand, who needs this, who needs that. My adrenaline kicks in and I go. I remember my first crisis from when I was a little girl living in Cyprus in the 70s. Sorry, I'm dating myself here. And the war broke out between the Greeks and the Turks. And they decided that they weren't going to share this island anymore. It actually broke out pretty quickly and it was quite brutal. And it ended up dividing the country in two. It still is divided in two. And I still remember the gunfire all around us as we drove in a convoy to the Air Force base where we would be shipped back to England. Now, my father was already at the Air Force Base, which was about, I would say, 100 kilometers away. But I remember my mother very clearly remaining calm despite the clear danger we were in and guiding us to where we needed to be in order to get to safety. Fast forward, 2005, I'm in Canada and I started my travel business. I was in a terrible personal crisis after the loss of my partner, left us totally broke, and I was an immigrant single mum of 4. I found it very difficult to see past the grief and the belief that I could even survive this tragic devastation, but I did. We do. Yes, it was tough. I was broke, so everything I did was from scratch. I had to figure it out. I had to figure out where I was going and how I was going to find customers because no one was going to be knocking on my door asking, "Excuse me, do you have a travel agent in your basement?" Just wouldn't happen, would it? So this situation that we find ourselves in right now is very similar. It's a crisis. It's catastrophically a crisis. We could never have imagined that we would be in this position, and we have to start again from scratch. And things are changing, and more than ever now, you have to think so far out of the box. There's no box. With the lemons that we've been thrown, making lemonade just won't do. We have to think differently. We have to stay standing and rise like the phoenix. Because these are unprecedented times. We've never experienced something in our industry so catastrophic. So your reinvention strategy has to evolve and be based on the times and the situation rather than what you already know. You must research, you must refresh your knowledge, and yet still be prepared to change again as rules and protocols evolve and, that terrible word we all hate right now, pivot. We must stay on top of it, and you must be the expert that you are. Don't hold on to what you know already and refuse to evolve, or you will be left behind. As the dust settles, we should look to the future and be ready, because when travel rebounds, it will come back bigger and stronger as the desire to travel will explode inside of those of us who are desperate to get back on a plane. Oh, I can smell it now, the airline fuel. For so many people, travel is a priority, be it for work, visiting friends, like me, visiting relatives, or just pure leisure. Travel is an integral part of people's lives, and for many is as big a part of returning to normal as being able to eat in a restaurant again. Remember in the summer when the restaurants started to open up? How grateful were you to be sitting in a restaurant? Didn't matter what you were eating, you were there, you were out. Well, as soon as there is no immediate obstacle to taking that next trip, people will go. So, why can't we just open back up again and wait for that phone to start ringing? Why can't we sell what we know? You know, you may have been in the business for a very long time. You know a lot, right? No. Well, can't we just start marketing a bit harder then? Selling a little bit more aggressively and tell people how much we need them to book travel right now. If we don't, we can't feed our families. Can't do that either. No, your messaging is very important. The way you need to sell now is very different, and the message you portray must be sensitive to the situation you are in right now, or you will lose the booking to someone who is more with the current times. Think about it like a magnet. The law of attraction. You must set yourself up as the expert in the new travel landscape, and people will be naturally attracted to your knowledge. They will feel safer and secure booking with an expert, somebody who knows, somebody who has researched the current situation and how it will affect their travel plans. Things have changed and will probably never be the same again. We have to evolve and we have to move with the times. So, how do we start up again in a post-pandemic world? Well, first, let's have some tea. Well, actually, not this kind of tea, but the first tea of many, I have to tell you, is time. This is a moment in time. You will either remember it with a feeling of dread or of thankfulness that you dug deep to muster up the strength necessary to fight through the fear and uncertainty. You have a choice right now, but know this, time moves on. This is a moment and it will pass. How you react is up to you. At the end, you can say, I survived this terrible moment in time. I made it through. That is what the aim is. So the next T I want to talk about is training. Retraining is a very important part of your travel business rebound. It is imperative for you to learn everything you can about the new normal, about the new protocols, about the safety measures at the airport, on the planes, the money that has been invested by airlines, by hotels, by tour operators, by tour leaders, by travel industry in general. Learn about the trending places that people are looking for. What are the most searched destinations? What are the off the beaten path places that you can find? What are the different ways that clients are looking to travel? What are they looking for so that you can retrain yourself for when they are ready to go and travel again? Take all the free online training courses. Retake the suppliers' webinars because what you thought you knew is now all very different. And it will be different for a while to come. So it's up to you to stay ahead of the pack. Train yourself to be the expert in today's travel landscape. You should know where are the best places to go to stay off the beaten path. The next T is to tell your story. Telling your story makes you real to people who have previously booked online. All those people who spent hours or days trying to speak to a real person to get them help, to get their trip rebooked, to get their trip changed, or perhaps refunded, and their wedding rebooked, and all people from all over the world trying to get to a wedding in one place. It was impossible, and they were hitting dead ends. I'm sure you got at least one phone call asking you for help with a booking that somebody made elsewhere. Why? Because they trust you. You have proven your worth through this pandemic. You are the expert, and you have the knowledge and the connections that they wish they had used in the first place. Well, the smart ones won't do that again, will they? They'll be looking for you. So tell your story. Tell the media. Post it on social media. Basically, anyone who will listen. Keep the points optimistic and tell the story of your journey through this pandemic. What is your passion? How you got people home when they were stuck? How you are spending your valuable time that you did not typically have before, learning everything you can so that you are ready when travelers feel ready to start booking travel again. Because talking about travel keeps the dreams alive. Travel is making memories, just like reading a story when we were children. There were imaginations created, and this is what we do as travel agents. But be very careful with the way you do this and make sure your messaging is reflective of the time and the situation. Do all you can consistently to get the message out there and to get it, as I said, online, social media, email blasts, talk about travel, talk about things you've been learning, but don't sell. Not yet. Let them come to you and ask you to book. Don't sell yet, because you will be seen at the moment as insensitive, and actually you may be seen by some as irresponsible. But talking about what it will look like is like setting the scene when a play begins. As a travel professional, it is your job to inspire the imagination, to create a desire, because you are the expert. So the next T is transform. Yes, it's time to transform your business model to reflect what is going to work for you. Time to figure out where you go from here. Do you move home from a storefront? Do you change your strategy? Do you move to a host agency or a new host agency? Well, I changed everything. I did the opposite of what was expected during this pandemic. I actually hired 7 new people. Why? Well, partly because I'm a little mad and nuts, but hey, whatever. Because I feel that this is more of an opportunity than a terminal diagnosis. I changed my business model to work for me and actually gave up my travel business and handed the keys over to someone else to focus on helping you and other dedicated travel professionals rebound and reboot their travel business. I took the time to triage. I looked at what I loved most, which to me was fulfilling a lifelong dream of talking about travel on TV. The selling part, it's not my favorite bit. I love the research. I love the knowledge. I love the passion for travel. So giving up selling travel to me just cleared a path for me to make my own travel TV show, as well as focus more on my media career and helping others to get their story out. So now I get to truly share my travel passion, obsession if you like. I get to share it with a much wider audience now. And I also want to make them laugh along the way, which is the best part, because as you know, if you've seen already, I like to make you laugh. So humor, we need humor right now. We need to laugh, you know? It's cathartic, it's helpful, and it makes you feel better when things are so difficult. And in the face of adversity, laughing is perfect. So I hired a publicity, and he helps me spread the word internationally. And as this went so well, I decided to start a company called 19 Lemons. And together, we're helping small to medium businesses rebound, get their stories published all over the place. We make videos for them and their businesses and create travel lab rat opportunities. To you and me, that's kind of a fam, but it's not really a fam. It's more of an opportunity to travel and showcase what travel looks like right now, how it's going to look when you get to a hotel, what the airline is going to do, what everything looks like at the moment, because the pent-up desire to travel is starting to show. People are desperate. They want to travel. They want to get back up in the air. And this leads me to my last and most important T, which is travel. This is why we're in this business, right? And I know money is tight. And I also know that you may see travel as a reward for your work and not as a marketing essential for your business. Well, let me tell you, right now, it's essential. You should be leading by example. Show your clients what it looks like. Report on every COVID test you take in order to travel. Show every little step you take to ensure their travel safety. As long as you get the messaging right, your own travel experience can be your best marketing strategy you have right now. Even if it's local, report on everything. You go on a wine tour in Niagara, report it, show it, take pictures, tell the story. Don't just take a picture and put it on for social media. Tell the story of why you're here, what it feels like, what it looks like, what it tastes like. What is safe about it? What is changed about it? Tell your story, because it's up to us to show potential clients what things look like and what they feel like now. Even if your friend travels, repost that too. Tell the story of what they're doing. Tell your clients somebody went to Cancun and this is what it felt like and this is what it looked like. Share the experiences. We're in this together. Show the step-by-step protocols that are put in place to keep people safe now. Educate people in the fact that even though travel will look and feel different, that it will still be enjoyable, because that's what we love about travel. We're going to make memories. We're going because we enjoy it. Are we still going to enjoy it? We need to know that. Show people that you're not afraid, and nor should they be. Because leading by example and taking charge of your business recovery is important right now. Life is 10% what happens and 90% how you respond to it. So now is the time for you not sit back and cry in your tea. Take action, transition, and thrive. And I would be happy to help you in your transformation process and not just survive, but thrive. And if you want to join me on one of my lab rat trips, hop over to my website, lorrainesimpson.com, and send me an email. And let's get this party restarted.